Hey everyone, welcome along to another BrickLink seller vlog. This is VLOG62 and this week we've got lots of part outs, lots of brick store files being created, maybe a little comment on the new coupons. Let's go! Hello, well it's the start of another week and another brick store file. Now this time I'm doing a part out of set number 75396, another Star Wars set. Only 3 of them this time. Now this was another set that I purchased last year and just haven't managed to part it out any quicker than this. But that's the way it goes. We're still obviously adding stock from the Brick Arena purchase. Now interestingly, someone's just literally commented on last week's vlog about where I get all the parts from that we add to the store, and there's the first one, parting out brand new sets. So look for sets that are on offer, look for sets that have a good part out value, look for sets that have a good sell-through rate. Obviously now I would use BrickMetrics to ascertain all of that information and then make a decision on whether or not to buy the set for parting out. Just recently though, we haven't purchased any new sets for parting out, simply because the new sets we are buying are going straight into East Midlands Lego hire. And we've got such a backlog that at the moment it makes no sense for us to keep purchasing sets for part out. So that's one avenue. Of course, the other avenue is used bulk. So eBay, Facebook Marketplace, areas like that. Pick up bulk lots, normally paying about £5 a kilo for just unsorted bulk, and then you bring it in and create a process of washing of A sorts, B sorts, things like that, and eventually it'll make its way into your store. And obviously the third option is buy another BrickLink store. I think I've done 3 now, 3 purchases, but Brick Arena was obviously the biggest and largest, and we're still dealing with the stock from that purchase. Maybe we should get that finished at some point this year. I hope so. Right, it is just gone after lunch and I've had 4 orders come in this morning, which is absolutely brilliant because those 4 orders are equal to the daily target that I've set myself in terms of revenue. So really happy with those. So I'm going to get those packed up next and get them posted, because one of them is on a 24-hour service. So it's in early enough, so we'll take it to the post office this afternoon on the school run. So that's number 1 priority. Then we'll get back to doing this part out. I did start this actually yesterday afternoon, I think it was. It could have even been Saturday. But we're already quite a way through the process. I'm just consolidating now and physically adding the parts into the store. And we haven't got a lot left. I've done all the black, light bluish grey, dark bluish grey. So just left with tan, white, don't think there's any yellow, the orange, red, brown. So it shouldn't take too much longer to get that in. That should hopefully get uploaded later on this afternoon. And then we'll decide what's next. I can see that we've still got some really useful drawers to get through, including a couple that I brought up from the chapel. Now they contain 1x1 plates, and there was quite a few of them in there, so that'll be a nice addition to the store and good quantity as well. We are sitting just under 710,000 parts still. Don't know what it's going to be by the end of the week. We'll have to see. Right, but apart from that, normal week. Building up to Christmas. Just trying to get more and more uploaded and just see if we can maximise sales this month. With presents to buy, it's going to be tight, but we'll see. Right, let's get cracking. Okay, that is the brick store file complete, but before I upload it, I just want to show you guys this. Now the set contains one of these hinge plates, so 3 sets, I've got 3 of them. Now, I'm hoping this will show up on camera. Can you see the difference in tone between the two parts? That is unbelievable. I know that, you know, Lego, when it's manufactured in different countries, for example, you do get slightly different shades, but this is in the same set, and I'm kind of gobsmacked. I've never seen that before, and all three of them are just as bad. And it's always that sort of left side, depending on which way you look at it, okay? But they're definitely two different shades of dark tan, and as a result, all three of those are going in my rejects box. I just think anyone buying those will instantly complain about the condition, even though it isn't my fault. But I'm not running the risk. I think if I received them, I wouldn't be happy. So that means they're not going in. They're just going to get rejected and removed from the Brick Store file. So that is what I'm going to currently do. Well, I've already deleted them, but I'm going to get this uploaded into BrickMetrics and redo the pricing. That's the file I need. We'll just let that import. It's currently giving me an overall value of £268 for 3 sets. And yeah, this is now calculated it to be, I don't know if you can just see that, £320. What's that? That's just over £50 more. Now obviously that's my settings, my pricing, so no price updates are required, so that's good to go. So I'm going to give that file a bit of a review, make sure it's all good, and then I'll upload that straight into the store, and that's going to add just short of 1,700 parts, which is a great start to the week. Well, good morning, welcome along to Tuesday, and I've been pretty busy. I think yesterday I managed to just sort of box off quite a few little jobs and quite a bit of sorting. I ended up finishing off a couple of the really useful drawers and adding in a few thousand parts, to be quite honest, but it was just plates, mainly 1x3, and then a selection of sort of 6x8s and 6x10s and a few other parts. So it was two completely full drawers and all new. So they were uploaded yesterday afternoon. I didn't bother filming any of it because I just thought it's just the same as what I've always been doing. But that got done. And then yesterday evening, just while I was sort of watching a bit of Netflix, I decided to have another look at some minifigure parts. Now, these have all been sat in a box just down here behind my chair, getting in the way, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to open them up, I'm going to go through them and see what I can find. Now, they are all just torsos or legs. In fact, they were sort of part-built minifigures. They all had something missing. Could have been a head, could have been a hairpiece, a hat, the legs, the torso, it didn't matter, but they were all missing something. But rather than trying to find the missing parts, I've simply just broken them down and listed each bit individually. So I've ended up with just over 100 items, 101 lots, and the total value was £103.52. But there's just one item in here that's an absolute awesome piece. Currently valued at just under £31, is this torso. Let me just see if I can zoom in on it. There we go. It's from an original Forest Hideout set. The minifigure, the complete minifigure, is worth about £65. Now it only has light grey legs, which I've probably got, but the head, the hat and then the little blue flume in the top of the hat I don't have. So it's not worth me trying to sort of find it. But as you can see, it's in really, really good condition. So I'm really pleased with that. And that was just sat in this box. It's right, where is it? It's this one here. Just sat in there along with all of those other minifigure bits that are incomplete. So it's a really, really good find. So I'm really pleased with that. Let me pop that back. So we'll get that consolidated and hopefully uploaded a little bit later on. Now, the other thing that I remembered was this box here. Now, you might recognise that set. If I hold that up, that might give it away. Hawkins Police Department. This is the Stranger Things Upside Down set. Now, this is not the set that I've got on East Midlands Lego Hire. In fact, what happened was I bought a set quite a long time ago, specifically for East Midlands Lego Hire. And when I checked it, the minifigures, although they were all there, the Demogorgon was missing the sort of claws that it has. And those claws in that colour were only on the Demogorgon, and they're quite expensive. And I made the decision that instead of trying to buy the spare parts to complete the Demogorgon, I would buy another set. Now, there were some other missing pieces, and some of them were stickered. So I thought by buying another set, I should be able to at least complete one. And I did. And that's the set we now have out on hire. But I remembered that obviously the second set has got a complete set of minifigures. And when you look on BrickLink, the Demogorgon doesn't have the claws as part of the minifigure inventory. Just had to find the right word. So which means I can list that as a complete minifigure. I don't need to worry about the claws. And its current valuation is between £50 and £60. This one's valued at about £30, and then the rest of them sort of range between, I don't know, 5 and 15 maybe. Which means that I really need to get these listed and added to that brick store file and get it all uploaded, because I think at the moment, with Stranger Things being quite sort of popular, the new season's out, everyone's talking about it, there's a good chance I could sell some of these minifigures before Christmas. And obviously, you know, keeping the income coming in before Christmas is of paramount importance, since we're all sort of all trying to make sales before everyone runs out of money for Christmas. But they also make some pretty good Christmas presents as well. So I definitely need to get those done today. Right, that's the task for the afternoon. Let's get cracking. Good morning. It is Thursday, and I didn't do any filming yesterday simply because another job that I had on slightly overran, and it meant that yesterday daytime I actually didn't do any work in the BrickLink store, which was a bit of a shame, but you know, these things happen. So yesterday early evening I decided to tackle, well, I tackled one of these 4 really useful drawers. I brought a couple of these up from the chapel, and a couple of them came from the loft area. Oh, so sort of soul destroying. Unfortunately, they're just full of sort of large quantities of parts that I just don't think are going to sell very quickly at all. These are all kind of bionicle parts. In the drawer that I did manage to create a brick store file, it's mainly sort of wheel hubs and these things. I think they're from Power Miners, and I've already got loads of those in the store. The other couple of drawers, you know, again, sort of quantities of sand green turrets. I think they're sort of Harry Potter. I've forgotten what's in the bottom one. But, I was looking at them last night and just thought, oh, I just sort of dread going through them all, checking, because I think it's all used. So they need double checking. And I kind of got fed up very, very quickly. And that's the kind of thing that happens when you're constantly looking at sort of bulk parts of Lego. So, to kind of create a bit more excitement, I went back to doing the sort of smaller parts, minifigure accessories, other bits and pieces that are coming out of these smaller drawer compartment things, units here, and I've got some on here as well, just to try and help move that process along and clear them out, because I'm fed up of them being here, but it's going to take quite a while to get them into the store, so I just need to keep chipping away at it. But this is one brick store file because it came from obviously the Brick Arena stock, and this is an individual file on its own because it's not technically Brick Arena stock that was inventoried. And currently we're at 314 items, 129 lots in just this area. So that's going to really help the lot count, because I think quite a lot of that I don't have in the store at all. So, doing that kind of stuff's great for the overall piece count, and doing this kind of thing is great for the lot count. So all helps, all helps. Now last night was very slow on the orders, I have to say. Only a couple trickled through, which is a bit of a shame really, because obviously building up to Christmas, I need a good flow of orders just to keep that cash flow going. But it is what it is. Every order is welcome, obviously. Just wish there was a few more right now, but that is just the way it goes. Right, I've got another big day today. I've got a big meeting just after lunch that I need to prepare for. I'm quite excited about. More on all of that and what I've been up to, by the way, that's next year. But these things do take up time, and it's time it's well spent. So next year for all of that. Anyway, I think I'm going to try and get this in the store now, try and clear my desk before I tackle some other jobs. Right, let's get cracking. Actually, before I get cracking, I've just reminded myself of an email that came in last night from BrickLink talking about a new method of creating coupons. So first of all, I thought it was quite interesting that they emailed to tell us about this new feature, but didn't email anybody to tell them that they were shutting down BrickLink in 35 countries. Interesting. But creating a coupon actually sounded, for me, quite interesting, because it's not something I do normally. I have created coupons in the past, normally as a form of compensation for something that's gone wrong with an order. However, I do know of other sellers that create coupons for leaving feedback, for instance, or for completing an order, to try and entice customers to come back to the store and place a repeat order, or keep coming back to them. So it's all part of the marketing plan. And I thought, oh great, they've revamped coupons. I wonder if it will now be easier to dish out coupons to a group of buyers, for instance. So I was reading through the sort of help page, and I couldn't really find anything that was going to change how coupons worked. It all looked pretty similar. Now I've not double checked this against what currently happens, but I couldn't really find anything that made me go, oh great, we can now do sort of mass coupons or anything like that. What they have done is there's now a coupon preset. So we've got this nice looking screen. You can tell it's all been modernized, where we can sort of set almost defaults, or presets as they call them, so that you don't have to keep selecting, for example, how long the coupon's valid for. You can almost default it to be every coupon you create is 2 months. There's 2 months validity on it. You can also set your discounts and make that the default. So if you were always interested in a fixed amount, for example, £5 off, or you want to do a percentage, 10% off, you can set that as a preset. Okay, I thought, well, that's quite good. That might save a little bit of time. Now this is the create coupon page. Let's just wait for it to load. Here we go. And the first thing you notice is you've got to add the username. Right, so that means copying and pasting, which means that this new coupon method is absolutely no quicker than the old one, and means we can't, you know, sort of give every buyer a coupon, which just made me think, that's a lot of time and effort to make this page look prettier, but without any extra functionality. Yeah, I have to say, just a bit disappointed really. I was expecting potentially something more, but all they've done is made it look pretty. Bit of a shame really. Bit of a damp squid, if I'm honest. Obviously, you know, I might use it, but it's not the way I would like to use it going forward. Anyway, that's me rambling on. I'll let you guys have a look and you know, drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is early. It is Friday, and normally I don't film the orders, but this particular one, I felt I had to. It's the Demogorgon from the Stranger Things set that I mentioned earlier, and it has sold. So I'm really, really pleased about that. Just this one minifigure sale is well above the daily target, so absolutely brilliant and fantastic. And thank you to the person who's bought it. I'm going to wrap it up really well, get it in a little box, and we'll get that out to you today. Thank you. Okay, so it's a little bit later on Friday, and I'm just finishing off New Set Friday for East Midlands Lego Hire, and here it is. It's all been rebagged. It's a brand new set. I think I did speak about it actually, maybe in the last vlog. I actually can't remember, but this was on offer on lego.com for 4 times insider points, and I thought that was too good of an opportunity to miss out on. So set number 21360, it's Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. So really good addition to the service, and I'll be doing the social media posts shortly. But before I do that, I've got some orders that need to go out today. One of them's on a Track 24 service, so it kind of makes sense just to pick and pack the other orders that have already come in this morning. So there's 4 orders there that I'm about to go and do the packing for. Now, in terms of brick store files, I have made a start on some of those sort of bigger, bulkier Bionicle items. I think they're really, really slow sellers, but I've made a start, and that's the main thing. You can see, obviously, halfway through, I got fed up and went on to do some minifigures. So just behind my glasses there are a smattering of minifigures, not many, but that was sort of where I'm up to. I think I've got to add a few more before I can upload that file. And that's about it. I think for the rest of the day, I think I need a break. I have put quite a few hours in this week with various different projects that have been going on, and obviously picking and packing orders and listing and everything. So it is Friday. I might finish early after I've done these 2 tasks. I do have a customer booked in for later on this afternoon for East Midlands Lego Hire, so I'll get all of that dealt with, and then I'll probably finish for the day, and hopefully come back a bit more fresh tomorrow. I I am going to be working tomorrow and possibly a bit on Sunday as well, because I'm hoping that, you know, the Christmas orders keep coming. It's probably the last week now before I think the real slowdown starts, and it picks up again in January. So we've got to get that income in before the end of the month. Right, that's it for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Good morning. It is Saturday and we're going to end the week slightly different this week. We're doing another part out. Now this is another Star Wars set, another one that I've had up in the loft area for quite a while, but we're trying to clear the space, so we're trying to get these all parted out and added into the store. Now, slightly bigger one this time. This is set number 75365, the Yavin 4 Rebel base with lots of minifigures in it, and we've got 3 of them. So my wife is helping me out, and she's currently just over, I'd say, just over halfway. There's a few bags still over here left to do, but we've got the sorting tray, and we'll get all of those parts separated out into the tubs and then brought through into the main office, where I will start building up the brick store file and getting them consolidated into the store. Now, we might get some of this done this afternoon and maybe some tomorrow, but we'll see. It is the weekend. The kids are at home, and we'll probably be doing some stuff with them as well. So, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and we'll see you all next week.